Assassin's Creed Syndicate is widely regarded as the black sheep of the franchise. A lot of people pinpoint it as the point where Assassin's Creed went down the wrong path, where Ubisoft decided to take a break and make Assassin's Creed Origins, and we know where that ended up. And I, for one, also agree that Assassin's Creed Syndicate was a missed opportunity. I think the idea of an AC game set in Industrial Revolution London is a wonderful, wonderful idea for a dark, gritty, Batman-esque Assassin's Creed that checks all the boxes in terms of badassery, edgelord, guy who takes himself too seriously type of game. What we got, in my opinion, was an overly wacky, goofy parody of Assassin's Creed in a setting that really didn't justify it. But I don't think that AC Syndicate is without redemption. There's one aspect of Assassin's Creed Syndicate that I wanted to talk about today that I feel very passionately deserves more credit and should be used in future Assassin's Creed games as the blueprint of how you should design a game. And what I'm talking about is its mission design. Assassin's Creed Syndicate has very good stealth, but good stealth without good mission design is useless. So I want to basically spend the video today talking about why the mission design is so good and why I think it should be copied in other Assassin's Creed games. This video idea came from a subscriber who sent me an email basically thanking me for the content that I was making, and first of all I was extremely grateful for those thanks and I'm thankful to him, but he also took the time to basically defend Assassin's Creed Syndicate and explain why he liked it so much, especially the investigation missions and the missions in general. And it got me thinking, more people need to talk about this because we spend too much time criticizing the overall game, and maybe I'm guilty of this too, but just because you criticize an overall game and say that it fell flat, it doesn't mean that there aren't things that it does way better than other games. Now, let me explain. The mission design in Assassin's Creed Syndicate begins with Assassin's Creed Unity. What I mean by this was that in 2014, when Assassin's Creed Unity got announced, there was a very specific marketing point that the Ubisoft devs were making, and that was the revamped mission design, the almighty black box missions. These missions essentially give you an area of the map with a bunch of guards roaming around, an overall objective of killing your target, and a myriad of ways of completing it. This was revolutionary at the time for Assassin's Creed, and it felt like something that had always belonged in Assassin's Creed but hadn't arrived until 2014. Everyone loved the very famous cathedral mission in Assassin's Creed Unity, where you can basically use all of Paris to your advantage. You can enter the cathedral in so many different ways and take down your target in a unique animation. The problem with Assassin's Creed Unity is that as you progress through the game, these black box missions become much more linear than what they pretend to be. There are very few ways to complete these missions, there are very few ways to reach your target, and more especially, there are very few ways to kill your target. So even though it was a wonderful concept, Assassin's Creed Unity didn't end up delivering fully on this promise. Enter Assassin's Creed Syndicate. A year later, and made by a studio that, even though I creatively disagree with, I have to admit, make very polished games, and you can see how they took something that worked in concept and finished it properly. Every single assassination mission in Assassin's Creed Syndicate is perfectly polished, with a myriad of different options on how to enter and how to tackle it. The environments that these missions are set in are probably some of the best interior designs and world designs that Ubisoft has ever done. London is really brought alive through these missions. The places that you infiltrate, like the Bank of England, are just insane set pieces where you can freely roam without any sort of restrictions. My favorite mission of all is towards the end, and I'm probably showing footage of it now, where Jacob is in this huge theater that's burning down into flames after he's gone around killing people. And what AC Unity and Syndicate managed to do, and Syndicate more efficiently than Unity, is create the cinematic feel without railroading you into one specific avenue. Assassin's Creed 4, Black Flag, and AC3 have to basically bootstrap you into exactly where they want you to go and how they want you to do things to create a cinematic effect. AC Syndicate doesn't have to do that. It's created missions and set pieces that are cinematic no matter where you choose to go and what you choose to do, how you choose to kill your target or when. No matter what you do, you're always looking cool doing it, and the mission flows perfectly from one point to another. You know exactly where you need to go, what you need to do, what the unique opportunity is going to give you, and who you can get to assist you. There are so many different opportunities and so many different ways to access the same area. AC Unity and Syndicate managed to create tension in these missions in a very different way to the older games, because every challenge doesn't have a clear path to resolution. You have to figure it out for yourself. In the older games, even though you did have some guards and some restricted areas, for the most part you knew exactly what path to take and what tools to use to overcome the opponents, and only tension came from things that were outside of your control, that felt like came out of nowhere, that just were forced into the scene through cinematic cutscenes that then led to a new chase sequence or a new escape sequence or something else. Assassin's Creed Syndicate just gives you the map that you're in, and you have to figure out in this abstract, amorphous camp how to pass through all these guards, how to be undetected, and how to get to your target. All the challenges are laid out in front of you, and it's up to you, your wits, and your tools to figure out how to complete this mission. That's a very satisfying experience as a player, and it's one that I'm glad was copied in later games, even if not to the same effect. So you're probably thinking at this point, I'm pretty sure the RPG Creeds also have black box missions. Most of these missions I can go into this guarded fort and play however I want. And to this I say yes but no. It has more of an open world structure to these black box missions that I don't think fall in the same category. inventory. Because even though, yes, most times you are going into a guarded area where there's a lot of guards going around, and you just go one by one killing them until you have to rescue a hostage or kill a target or burn something down, it's a very repetitive and two-dimensional process. You don't have any allies that can help you in this. You don't have any secret unique animations, or you don't have any secret points of entry. It's a very in and out direct approach. There's also very few stakes to doing these missions in however way you want. You don't have to think about your approach, your strategy, or how you're going to defeat the target. You can go in swords blazing and kill everyone. You can go with your bow and basically kill everyone before you even enter the fort, or you can just go around stealth killing everyone. But all you're doing is killing guards in a sequential order in this open map that you've probably visited before, and then leaving. There's no payoff. There's no unique kill animation. There's no setup. There's no stakes. There's very little in terms of a true black box mission. Because if you infiltrate that fort outside of the mission, you're going to have 95% of the same challenges that if you infiltrated it during the mission. That shows very little care and very little thought for these missions. If you enter the cathedral in Assassin's Creed Unity outside of confession mission, you're not going to have the same targets. You're not going to have the same challenges. And some of these Syndicate missions, you can't even enter the places that you do in the missions. And these areas are crafted specifically for the mission, and you can tell in how engaging and well designed it is. It's very different from the new games, and this is something that I wish they bring back. These tailored, handcrafted areas that are made only for the mission. AC Syndicate truly perfects what Unity laid the groundwork on. Every single mission that you play that is a main assassination is extremely memorable because it doesn't feel like a mission. And by that I mean that most times when you play a video game, especially when you're a little bit older, you can kind of see through the veil of what the video game developers are trying to tell you. You can see how they're forcing you down this path through the world design and the environment design. You can see how they want you to use this tool with this enemy, or how they're basically setting you up to win. In AC Syndicate, you don't have that. You have a truly immersive assassin experience where you're planted in an environment that's not your friend, and you have to, through your own discerning and strategy, figure out how to get there. No one's on your side except yourself and your tools. And it's such a wonderful experience to be finally let go of your hand being held and being told, listen, here's your target, here you are, figure it out. I'm not going to show you how to enter this. You're going to have to find a way in. The most it does is tell you some potential entry points, and then from there, you're kind of left on your own. Another thing that I want to talk about with the mission design is something that hasn't really been done properly since Brotherhood, which is the idea of linking side objectives into the story that you're trying to tell. One of the types of missions that the subscriber wanted to focus on was the murder mysteries, and I have to agree with you. These murder mysteries are really well written and really immersive, and they really fit the theme and style of Victorian London. So even though Assassin's Creed Syndicate fails in a lot of ways, one thing that I hope that Ubisoft learns from it is its mission design. And because Assassin's Creed Red is being designed by the same studio that did Assassin's Creed Syndicate, I'm pretty hopeful that they adopt these black box missions to give us a true assassin experience. My ideal situation for this upcoming game would be that it takes itself seriously and gives you the same respect that Assassin's Creed Syndicate gave you. And that's the key word, respect. Syndicate in its mission design really respected you as a player by not holding your hand and guiding you through things. And I don't believe the RPG Creeds did it in the same way, because they just give you outposts that are way too easy to overcome. I want handcrafted black box missions that really make you work for that target, really make you feel like you're an assassin, a small individual soldier against an army, against a whole world that's built against you, not in your favor. And this is something that I really enjoy doing, which is picking games that I might not love or respect as much as the other ones, and pointing out something that I hope that carries on in the future of the franchise. If you want to watch me discuss the one thing that I think the RPG Creeds did right, you can watch this video now.